Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a very interesting topic for today's show, in which it is if Walt Disney World decides to leave Florida, then the city of Orlando will have to flip the bill. So let's get right into this topic. Very recently, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis um, signed a bill protecting certain counties of Florida from having to flip the bill, so to speak. Uh, but that bill, that bill that Ron DeSantis signed does not protect the city of Orlando from having to flip the bill. Okay. That bill that he signed only protects certain counties of Florida, but that does not protect the city of Orlando from having to flip the bill, because if if Walt Disney World decides to leave Florida, there's going to be a big debt left over. So if that happens, then the city of Orlando is going to be responsible to pay that bill, to pay that debt off. And what does that mean? What that means is, for anybody that lives within the city of Orlando, the taxes are going to go high and stuff like that. And the people that live within the city of Orlando are also then in turn going to be having to flip that bill to pay that debt. So, all the conservative Republicans of Orlando are right now celebrating with Ron DeSantis of his victory of that bill that he signed. And they're all thinking that they won the war. They didn't win the war. You won the battle. But just because you won the battle does not necessarily mean that you won the war. Because like I just said, if Walt Disney World decides to leave Florida and move to another state, then the city of Orlando is going to be responsible to pay that remaining debt. And that in turn also means that the people who live in the city of Orlando is going to have to pay that debt. Now, there's also another thing. If Walt Disney World leaves the state of Florida, a lot more jobs are going to be lost, because pretty much everybody there will be fired, right? They'll be let go, which means unemployment in the state of Florida will go up. Businesses will also suffer because tourism will go down. Okay. And when tourism goes down, businesses within the city of Orlando, I guess, or whichever, go down because nobody will be going into their hotels, restaurants, and so many other stores will be hurt because tourism will go down, especially during, like, I guess, like the summertime, when like when tourism is usually up in Florida, because normally, especially for like the past 50 years or so, normally, like during the summertime, people who want to go away with their families and stuff to to Walt Disney World and stuff like that. But then if Walt Disney World leaves Florida, tourism goes down, businesses go down, the economy of Florida goes down. Seriously, this is just facts. Now, if Walt Disney World leaves Florida, Universal could possibly then take the place of where Walt Disney World is currently located. Now, even if let's just say if Universal decides to take the place of where Walt Disney World is currently located, they're not going to build up in my boom overnight. It's going to take years and years for Universal to build up on that property. And in the meantime, and during that time frame of that process of Universal building up, the city of Orlando and the people that live within the city of Orlando are going to still have to flip that bill and still pay off that debt. And the economy is still going to go down and stuff like that until and unless if Universal builds up on that property. And there's no guarantee that Universal would even do that. It's just everything is up in the air. Everything is hypothetical at this point. But then even if Universal builds up there, let's just say if Universal builds up on that property, right? Who's to say if is it really going to be as big and popular as when Walt Disney World has been for let's say for the past 50 years or so? I personally don't think so. I personally don't think it's going to be as big as what Walt Disney World is. Which also means I don't think that they're going to hire back as many people. I think that, let's just say if all the people who get laid off from Walt Disney World, if they all apply for jobs at Universal, who's to say if all those people are going to be hired? Who knows? Nobody knows. So it's going to be bad for Florida if Walt Disney World leaves Florida. Now, there's a lot of people that are saying Walt Disney World will never leave Florida. No. You don't know, because the conservatives, the ultra religious, the Republicans, in other words, of Florida, especially Ron DeSantis, has been attacking Walt Disney World for quite a while. And if the big heads, the people way at the head and administration of Walt Disney World, if they turn around and say, hey, you know what? Ron DeSantis did this. He signed this bill and whatever. We're just going to pack up and we're going to leave Florida. And we'll go to a Democratic state where it's cheaper property and so on and so forth. And if that happens, if Walt Disney World moves to a Democratic state, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, many governors and mayors of many Democratic cities and states have been offering Walt Disney World to move to their state. And if that happens, the economy of that Democratic state will go skyrocketing. The economy of that state, of that Democratic state, will go skyrocketing. Because they'll have Walt Disney World then, that Democratic state, in which that means lots of jobs for them. Tourism will go booming for that Democratic state and Democratic city. You know, so just because the conservative religious Republicans of Florida won this round of the battle of against Walt Disney World, just because they won that battle now, again, does not mean that they won the war. And they can all do their victory dance and everything now, but they're going to suffer later. They're going to suffer later. Karma's going to come back and get them later because, like I said, Walt Disney World can just say, bye-bye, Florida. See you later. It's been a great run for 50 somewhat years or whatever. Bye, Florida. And they can do that. They're allowed to move if they want to. So, but anyways, I want to remind all my fans out there about the business that my husband and I have together called AWLDNY. The link to there is awldny.com. You guys could check out all the items on there. I also wanted to remind all my fans out there about my other business, my other website that I have called Advocate Information Highway. And the link to there is AIHNY.com. Again, that is AIHNY.com. You guys could check out all the pages on there. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.